Alright, today I'm going to give you guys a detailed look at this Hot Toys figure, and the figure I'm showing you guys is Raiden from Metal Gear Rising, and this is Hot Toys, and this is a loaner copy given to me by Cards and Comic Central, and I will leave their name and description and leave their name and phone number and address in the description box so you guys could give them a call. And yeah, there's Raiden, and on the back just a picture of the figure and people that worked on it. Well, disclaimers. And inside it's magnetized, and then there's the flap and the people that worked on it. And there's the figure. So let's get him out of packaging and let's take a look at what he comes with. Alright, and here we have Raiden outside the packaging, and check out all the accessories that this figure comes with. That's quite a lot, so let's go over them real quick. First we have the base with the Metal Gear Solid Rising on it, and then we have a couple of hands. We have some gesture hands, assault rifle holding hands, and then sword holding hands, and then we have a foot where there's a hole in the bottom where you can stick the sword for him to use. And then here's Sam's sword and the sheath, and there's his sword and his sheath, and then there's the articulated arm that attaches from his waist to his back to hold up the sheath. And then here's a knife and an assault rifle, and these two are chest pieces. Basically, the figure comes in with has the fully extended out chest piece, and this here is the collapsed version, I guess, for better movement around the chest area when you want him to hold weapons and stuff. And here are the face plates. Alright, so here's Raiden. And he is actually not, his armor is actually not black. It's more of a gunmetal gray, and it is a very metallic gray, which is nice. And yeah, and there are a lot of problems with, well, there's one main problem with this figure, and I think Hot Toys is aware of, and if you're getting it through the US, through Sideshow, and they're replacing the arm, which is the issue that a lot of the Raiden is having, which is this arm, his left arm, where the peg on inside his elbow is breaking, so he won't be able to use his elbow at all. Here, when you try to bend his elbow, it will just bounce back down because the joint is basically broken straight out of the box. And here on this side has a ratcheting elbow joint, so when you bend the elbow it's supposed to stay in one place, but for the other arm it doesn't. So Sideshow will be replacing a lot of them, I would imagine. So here's a good look at Raiden's head sculpt. The only complaint I have is his hair is a little too poofy. I'm not sure. I don't believe it's that poofy in the game though, but I could be wrong because it has been a while since I played that game. And yeah, you see there are two holes, one on each side. It's for the visor, so let's put that on. And here he is with the two visor pieces. Very cool looking figure, that's for sure. So as far as articulation, head is on a ball joint, and then chest there's a ball joint, and then the elbows are ball hinge, and then nothing on bicep because of the rubber sleeves, and then supposed to be a ratcheting hinge joint for the elbows and ball hinge wrists. And then the thighs, the hips are ball jointed, and these two pieces on the side here are attached using a spring loaded. So yeah, let's it wouldn't impede with the articulation. And then here we have double jointed knees, and then a hinge, actually a ball hinge ankles. And one thing to look out for, or watch out for, are these 6 rubber pieces. There's one back here, 2 up front right there, and then 2 over on this side, and 1 back there. When you try to bend right in here around the chest area, you gotta watch out not to bend them too far forward to snap these rubber pieces. And same thing with the front. Don't arch them back too much, because otherwise you won't snap them. And then here in the knees, here you can see this one is detached from the peg hole. I guess when they were gluing this together, they didn't do that good of a job, so just need to be glued back on. As you can see on this side, it's actually attached to that hole, but this side is not. And the armor itself is a metallic gunmetal gray color, and straight out of the box you can see there's already a scuff mark on the thigh area right there, which is a bit disappointing. And here are the 2 chest pieces. Here without it, they basically just peg on there. And here are those interchangeable pieces. As you can see, with these on now, his arms could actually come in a little bit more, but without a bicep swivel, his range of motion is quite limited. He wouldn't be able to hold his assault rifle with 2 hands because of it, because of the lack of a bicep swivel, which is quite disappointing in my opinion. And here he is holding a sword. Again, as far as articulation, it's quite disappointing that the arms don't have a bicep swivel. I understand why, because they chose to use rubber sleeves, but is that really necessary? I don't really think so, because the legs aren't rubberized, so why not just use regular hard plastic and give them double jointed elbows and as a swivel bicep to give them more range of motion. But instead they decide to go with the rubber sleeves, which limits a lot of their articulation, a lot of his articulation. And with the double jointed knees, for some reason he could only do a 90-degree angle here, nothing more than 90 degrees, so which is I don't know why he's so limited as far as range of motion here. So here's a close look at his weapons. Some of them at least. The red sword is from a character named Sam. Yeah, if you play the game you'll realize why he has it. The knife will slot through down here, while the sword will slot through right there on the top section. And then here's the articulated arm, and it doesn't work too well because this ball hinge right here is not really working. I think it's because of the paint they use. It's somewhat sticking, so you can't really move it too much. No, not at all actually. But here's the hinges. Those work fine. And here's the peg. It's supposed to go right there to the side. And overall, this is a very impressive looking figure. But as far as the range of motion, he is quite lacking. Which is quite disappointing for a figure like this, because Raiden's supposed to be very agile and can move around like he's basically a ninja. So for him to be so limited as far as articulation, it's quite disappointing. And Raiden is a tall figure. He stands about 13 inches in height, almost a tad bit under 13, but he's very close to 13 inches, and that's how he is in the game, because he is a tall fella, and he does have heels on, so yeah, which makes him a bit taller. Overall, would I recommend this figure? If you're a die-hard Metal Gear fan, then yes, I would say this is still worth it, because it does have a price tag of $300, assuming that you get your arm replacement. And but they also came out with the Inferno version, which is the red armor. I don't know about that one because the armor doesn't look right on this fella. I know he's yeah, you could unlock that character in game, the red version, but I think the color scheme could have been done a little bit better with the red, because it's basically the same figure, but the armor pieces are just red. I think that's the main difference between this one and the Inferno version. And stay tuned at the end of this video. I will put some photos up so you guys can see what it looks like with some movement, because you can't give them some poses, but just not like extreme dynamic poses. So there you go. There's the Raiden from Hot Toys, and thanks for watching.